Okay everyone, I am on the trail. This is video number 6, the official 6th video. This one is going to be showing where I exercise, how I exercise, so what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see everything in a second. Something that I didn't show, well, one was I put on sunscreen, boring, and I hydrated. What I did is I drank about 24 ounces of water. I knew I was going to walk about 2 p.m. and it's right at 2 p.m. So about 12:30 I drank 24 ounces of water. At 12, then 12:30, then 1:30, then 2. So a little before 2 because I'm actually at the trail at 2. I didn't cover me walking to the trail. The trail is across the street from my house and down a little bit at the foot of the trail. They used to call this the Royal Oaks Trail. Everybody around town would call it that, but I guess it has an official name and I'll show you that. So I didn't cover that. This is what I'm wearing. I got a floppy hat. I'm wearing a sun shirt. And then I got my, I had to turn around. I got my shoes, my walking shoes, which aren't really walking shoes. I won't show that. I'll show my feet as I'm walking, I guess. But anyway, I'm wearing the shoes that the VA gives me for diabetes. So they're a little heavy because they're diabetic shoes for diabetics to protect the feet. So here we are. This is where we are. We are in Monrovia, California, which I will turn it around now, if I can see it in the dark, in the sun behind me. Okay, we are in Monrovia, California, an all-American city. I guess we might be a tree city too. I don't know. We have a lot of trees. I can't remember all that. So here is the name of the trail, and then I'll cover how I walk the trail. So the trail is called this. I think you can see it. It has some pretty flowers. Across the street is the Santa Teresita. Used to be a hospital, now it is a urgent care. And this area right here, I believe, I don't know what they call it, but it's where the nuns live when they retire. So that's all here, so pretty interesting. So what does it cover here, I'm just gonna talk and walk, is how to get exercise to get your 10,000 steps. I think we don't even call this 10,000, video number 6, the process of getting 10,000 steps. So this is the trail. Okay, now when COVID happened, we had to adapt to exercise. This trail, as you can see, it's pretty big. It's a bike trail on this side right here, and this is, you can, either side you can ride your bikes. So, and it's pretty thick. And then here beside it, people will ride horses, and then on this side, so it's pretty big. But during COVID, people would walk, let's say here, like here, and they would be way, and then if they came across somebody else, they'd run, they go all the way across the street. So everyone's wearing masks, but if you came in contact with anybody on the trail, they actually closed the trail. Even though you're wearing your mask, you had to, people would do that, they'd run across the street. So we know that was probably overkill. So what I was talking about earlier, getting the steps, is sometimes you have to modify what you do. So you might go to the gym. A lot of people go to the gym. They say, well, I go to the gym. I can't work out right now because the gym is closed. I said, well, what about walking? Like walking down this trail, for example. I have a trail. I'm sure you have something like this. I'm very lucky that this is right across the street from my house. I also have a swimming pool, but they closed that during COVID, of course. So there's ways to modify your workout. Up here, Emily and I, my friend, we put some pumpkins out here with peanut butter on them, hoping the squirrels would eat them, but they didn't do well. But we did have some at the beach in Huntington Beach. We can, if you want, I can show some photos of that. But we had to modify our workouts. You know, you had to get outside, you had to walk. Some people ran. What I did was I walked, because walking is a great exercise for diabetics. So the problem we have as an adult, maybe, is that we have to prepare to work out. Like for me, I knew at 2 o'clock I was going to go and walk the trail. You can see it's really pretty over here, a lot of trees and everything. I had to walk the trail. I knew I was going to walk the trail. So I had to hydrate before I went. I had to put on sunscreen before I went. I had to put on my sun hat before I went. So all of that had to be done before I went. Now when you're a kid and you want to go on recess, the time for recess happens, you run outside and you play kickball or you do whatever you want to do to have some exercise. Here you have to be more prepared. So what I did is I modified my exercise to just walk the trail. I was only going to the YMCA, for example, and doing a little cardio before that. But what I did was I decided I could walk. It's the best exercise for a diabetic. I can go out and walk and get 10,000 steps, which I said earlier, I try to get about 13,000 to 15,000 steps, because that way I know I have 10,000 at least good steps. The doctors suggested that I get 5,000 steps 2 to 3 days a week. That was when I was over 50, a diabetic over 50, and my health. At first, they didn't want me to go anywhere where there was no defibrillator. So this walk I'm on right now, I would not be allowed to do. So I am allowed to do this now because I lost weight and I got healthier, and I'm wearing the proper shoes and the proper sun screen, whatever. So for me, I decided 10,000 steps. That's where the pumpkins are. They're hidden back there. Squirrels didn't do very well. We got some big, tall palm trees. You got everything around here. So I'd had to modify my workouts, modify everything because of COVID. Also, I was allowed to do more. So it was kind of a good time. I was allowed to do more. Sometimes we see deer on this trail. Up here, there's a whole big area of deer. But with the babies being out there, the baby deer, I don't know if I'll see any today. I'm not gonna walk the whole trail. I'm just gonna walk down to the bridge. The entire trail is a 5 mile, 2.5 miles one way. So when I get back to my house, I'll have 5 miles of steps, over 10,000. We're coming up to the city of Bradbury. It's a gated community. I guess Ray Bradbury owned all this property. It's very nice up there. When I was working for the census, I had to, that was part of my area, I had to count the people who lived up there. No, I didn't count the people, I counted the houses. We did, we were on the housing team, making sure census count that we knew who lived, not who lived, but that people lived here. Sometimes from 10 years ago, there might have been 2 single family homes that have been knocked down and made into apartments, so we had to check that. So it's very exclusive up there, and nice, very, very nice, big, huge houses. So we're now just walking the trail. So I had to do this. I had to modify my workout. You probably did too during COVID, and maybe you don't work out. It's like I said, this is my journey, and this is what I do. My journey down this thing here, down the trail. So I'm gonna walk up to the bridge. Oh, these are the shoes I'm wearing. About as ugly as they can get, but they're good to protect the feet for those of us with diabetes. So I'm gonna walk to up to the bridge. I didn't cover me walking to the trail. I didn't cover myself hydrating, and I didn't cover myself putting on sunscreen. But the rest of this is happening live here at about 2:08 on the 5th of October, Monrovia, California. I think we're in Duarte. We just passed the Mormon church on my right, and we are walking down some very, very blue skies. They're beautiful. So sometimes I try to modify my time to walk, to not walk in the heat of the day. We walked 35 steps on a challenge. You always find things like this. This is a baby toy. Sometimes I find dog toys. I found phones on here, keys and everything. I take them to the police and turn them in. But anyway, so just walking this trail, I try to modify it to not walk in the heat of the day. 2 o'clock is pretty warm, but it's gonna be warm no matter what. So I didn't do that. So I'm gonna go walk up to the bridge, and I'll show you why I had to modify my walks. I'm walking during the day because at night we're having a lot of coyote issues here, and the coyotes are not in good shape. They have mange, they're hungry, whatever. And you think if a coyote comes down here and it's not very healthy, another animal that's bigger than a coyote, we get bears. Monrovia is famous for bears. We get mountain lions and all that. So I don't want to be bit by a coyote. I really don't want to have my neck snapped by a mountain lion or my tummy eaten by a bear. So we are walking now. The reason I'm not doing the whole video from my house forward is because that's gonna be really long. I know this video is jumpy, and I'm walking at a brisk pace. Someone asked me about pace. I don't run. I can jog. I'll show you. This is me jogging. You can probably see it bouncing. I can jog. I don't on here. I try to maintain a pace from when I start the walk that I get winded pretty quick, or a little bit winded, and I'm at the same pace when I end the walk. So if I walk from my house to to the end and turn around. Like I said, that's 5 miles. And when I'm with the dogs, it takes a little longer because there's a lot of female to check. But when it's just Emily and I walking down here, we do it pretty fast. We've actually walked it very briskly. Now we do have a lot of homeless on this trail. They live in the bushes. Sometimes they'll put a tent like on the side of the road here. Oftentimes they'll try to sell you bikes. I don't know how it is where you are, but where I am, the homeless steal bikes. And they try to sell you bikes, and they get mad if you don't buy a bike. I said, look, I don't want a bike. I'll be walking. I said, I'm not walking because I don't have a bike. I have a bike, you know. Other times the homeless will come up, and I know maybe it's just the unhoused individuals. Okay, I think that's the current political correct term, and I'm sure that's changing. But the unhoused individuals will try to sell me stolen bicycles. One guy, he tells me he steals about 7 or 8 bicycles a day. So lock your bikes, folks. Lock your bikes. Lock your bikes. He steals about 7 bikes a day, and they stash them throughout here. I've seen some pretty good stashes of bikes. They don't put them where they sleep, where their encampment, their main encampment is. They have a few bikes there with some stolen shopping carts and stolen furniture. They steal the umbrellas from Panera, the big patio umbrellas. They steal easy ups and all that kind of stuff. So they steal tarps, but all the stuff they steal, they don't want to have bikes there. I don't know if it has to do with the amount of money, or they just don't want to lose that income from selling a bike. But they do try to sell you bikes, and I just tell them no thank you. I try to be polite. As long as they're polite, I'll be riding my bike, and they'll say to me, hey, you want to buy a bike? And I'll say, oh, no thank you. And if I'm on my bike, although I'm 60 years old, I used to ride my bike everywhere I went in high school. Everywhere I went, miles and miles and miles. You know, like I'd ride 11 miles, go do something, and ride 11 miles back, no problem. So what I would tell them, oh no thank you, and I'd ride a little bit faster, and I can usually I can ride faster than they can walk, talking to me about buying a bike. And I don't buy a bike. They never try to sell me drugs, which is good. They ask me for money. They ask me for cigarettes. You know, here I'm on the trail trying to get healthy, and they ask me, can I give them cigarettes? You know, so my answer is no, I don't have any. Sorry, man, I don't smoke, and they leave me alone. I don't carry a gun or a knife. I just am kind of big, and they usually leave me alone. I'm nice for them for quite some time until they make it so I can't be nice anymore. So here comes someone running down the trail with us. How you doing? And I always say hello to everybody. A lot of people know me, so that's why I picked this time, because they don't know me like my name is David, but they know I walk this trail. I don't want to stop in conversation. So we've now coming to the bridge. I think you can see it. I think the bridge is it a mile? About a mile from my house, so less than a mile that we've been walking. This video so far is 13:08 minutes long. And I'll show you part of the exercise I do here. Now what I do is I try to get, like I said, between, if I go to bed at 12,000 steps, I'm nervous I didn't get 10,000 steps. And these are the kind of steps I'm talking about, what I'm doing right now. These are the steps, I call them like the purposeful steps, or the ones I try to get, the goal steps, where I actually try to walk. Not getting up to go to the bathroom, change the channel, go get a snack, or get some water. Those aren't really the steps I want to include. I do walk to my mailbox, which is, I think it's 600 paces to my mailbox. I'll walk there and walk back. A lot of people, you'll see them drive to the mailbox and they're in good shape, or they will get their mail when they're driving to do something else. I try not to do that. When I get back, my mail will probably be there. I'll probably get it and walk back, because I've done this walking video. So, also on how, well, I'll do this in a minute. So here's the bridge. This is the bridge. So we go first, we can go from here to the bridge is one section that we talk about. Then there's an elementary school about the same distance I've walked here. That same distance will come up to the elementary school. And then from the elementary school to the end of the trail, that's where the recreational center is. This bridge crosses Royal Oaks Drive in Duarte, California, where we are now. So here's the bridge. There's a nice place to sit here. If you get tired, especially if you're walking older dogs, they might need a break, even if you don't. I showed the water fountain when we walked by. There are a couple water fountains on here. We mostly use those just for the dogs. So here's the bench that we like to sit on sometimes. and I'll show you how I had to modify my workout. So there's a bench, there's the bridge above me, and here's a big tree. This area is where I live. It's called Royal Oaks condominiums. This is Royal Oaks area. Now, if you're a diabetic, they always say to get circulation in your legs, and it also helps with your vascular system. So we have this nice staircase, and I told you before how I'd walk and do exercise on the stair where you put your foot. Oh, Central Casting's asking me if I'm available. I'm working tomorrow on a new movie. I can't tell you what it is, but I will tell you when I'm done with it. But anyway, there's stairs here, boom, 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 and then it turns, boom, 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 and it goes back to the street. There's an exercise where you put your feet, you put one foot on the edge of the step, and you step forward, step back, step forward, step back. You do a number of those, and that's really good for diabetics to get some circulation there. Now this, I would walk to here when I walk down the trail. If I'm not going to walk the whole trail, if I don't have time to walk the entire 5 miles, what I'll do is I'll walk to this point, which is probably a third of the way, and I'll go up and down these stairs, and my Fitbit will calculate that, that I went upstairs. The only problem is, I talked about modification. The homeless, the unhoused individuals have turned this into their toilet, so you can't walk up these stairs anymore. I was going to complain to Duarte, but they won't do anything about it. So there's stairs, you can see out here, it stinks, it smells really bad right here, but your feet will stick to the pee-pee, and there's poo-poo piles sometimes. You can tell it's a human because there's toilet paper, or one time they wiped their heinies on a newspaper and they threw it down there. So they used to only go in the bushes, which is gross, in here. One guy was going on the trail one time, I told him to leave, but now they use this, I guess because it has a little break right here. You see this right here, this little break area. They can hide behind this little wall and do their business, and it really, really stinks. It's probably not healthy to breathe that and all that. It's gross. So yeah, so this is one modification I had to do. What do I do now? I can't say I'm not going to do this exercise anymore. I only need like 1 or 2 steps, like right here, like maybe that. I only need really basically that bottom step. So I go to the mall. I'll go to the mall here in Arcadia while this situation is going on. But I used to walk to the trail. I think I'd go 10 times up and 10 times down, and then I would go back to the way in the trail. So I don't know how much it is, but here is the Fitbit. Since my Fitbit has no thing, I ordered another little holder that will put it on my wrist. In fact, it's not even lighting up right now. I have to figure out why it's not lighting. I got to push our buttons. But the Fitbit also will record onto the phone, so you don't really need it to be on your arm, I guess, because the phone will pick it up. I also use the Samsung Health app to see how close they are. On both those apps, I can turn on the GPS, and it will tell me about my walk, but I don't really care about that for the most part. I don't really care about the GPS. So that's what I do. This is the trail. This is 18 minutes long. I knew if I did the whole trail, it'd probably be about 30 minutes long. So it's kind of weird because there's a major street right up here. But if you're here, you wouldn't really notice that there's a street there. It's very, very nice. So here's a chance to get out and just exercise. There's biking here. You can rollerblade, roller skate, scoot, whatever you want to do. A lot of people ride their electric bikes on here. I don't really know how much exercise they get from that, but they do ride that. Maybe that's good. I don't know. Down here towards Duarte, there are some of those little workout things, those outside things you can do. And there's a full park over here. It's got baseball diamonds, basketball courts, tennis courts, place for the kids to play and run. So there's a lot of outside stuff. Now, that was all closed during COVID, during the beginning parts of COVID. I guess we're still in COVID. But anywhere, if you're in the Duarte, Monrovia area and you want to walk, I do walk out here. If you let me know when you're coming out, we can walk together. Just make sure you're very hydrated, and we can walk this trail together. Maybe I'll post different times I'm going to be there. Let me see if I can turn this around. And I can. Okay, this is how sweaty I got. It's pretty warm. I don't know the exact temperature. I'll look it up when I get home. But I wear a floppy hat. It has this thing behind it. I have sunscreen on because I am a very, very white person. And I like Woody Allen would say, I don't tan, I stroke. I have been on some movies before. One was called, was it Crazy People? Something like that. I don't know. It was on for like 4 seasons. I mean, not 4 seasons, like 4 episodes before they canned it. But they had me, I was supposed to be a vendor, a man that was a vendor, and I had long pants on and a long sleeve shirt and a hat like this. And I was really comfortable with that. They said, hey, we like your look. We want to put you as a walker. for this. So they changed me into shorts. I did not have a chance to sunscreen my legs again because I was fully covered, and now I'm fully not covered, and I burned the back of my legs so bad I could barely drive home, and it was really bad. So this is walking back now. As you can see, the bridge is behind us. It's not a bridge too far, it's a bridge right there. And I'm gonna probably turn this off because that's about it on here. I don't know exactly how many steps I get. I guess I could put that in the comments when I get back to the foot of the trail. So this is probably a third of the way that we walked just now. And for me, only for me, again, me, this is great exercise. I walk at a brisk pace, as you can kind of see from behind how I'm covering some ground. You can see the little post here. There's one, and then here we go to another one. I don't know how fast I'm walking. I can check that. I'm not organized enough really to check the entire situation here on Fitbit. I'm sure Apple Watch, Garmin has one. These counters, I'm sure you can check that. I can check my heart rate. If it was on my arm, I could check my heart rate. I could tell that my heart rate's doing pretty good. Here is, I'll walk up here so you can see the street. But yeah, so I'll just walk up here and turn around. I won't change it, I guess. So for me, this is great exercise. I can do this. For a while there, when I was at home, not working, quarantine at home, whatever they called it, and I was allowed to walk on the trail, I would do it in the morning. Usually, it was hot. It was hot. I remember, I think it was like March we started doing that. But when it got hot, I'll turn around so you can see the road. There's the road right behind me. This is some houses and all of that. There's cars, and this is the road. Of course, when I come up here, no one's driving, but we do have these huge trees, like you see behind me. So it gets pretty shaded. But I'd walk, usually I would walk in the morning, and I would either walk this trail or I'd walk around town. Like if I had something to do, like go deposit a check, I would just walk. And that's about 4 blocks there and 4 blocks back. And that all counts. You walk fast. When I walked fast. So then I'd walk the dog, and then I'd walk with my friend. And usually this trail is basically it for me. I do use some elastic bands. I found them in the trash can. I live in a condominium, like I said. And I do these little elastic bands on my arms, just tone up a little bit. But I never really did that when I went to the gym before. I just did cardio. So I got this hat that I'm wearing. We went to the county fair and we got to see some cool stuff. But this is the kind of hat I wear. I don't really wear a baseball cap because, like I said, the sun is bad. It's getting windy now, which is good. I'm gonna turn the camera around for a couple minutes, or a minute or two, then I'm gonna turn it off, I think. You can see the hat blowing. I'm bald, so definitely not my flowing locks blowing in the wind. And it's gray. Hopefully I'm not that gray. So here we go. Tomorrow we'll be on a movie, so I don't know how much exercise I'll be able to get there. I do walk on set. If anyone has any questions on how I exercise when I'm on set, you can, and if you do acting, you can do the same. Or if you work in a business, an office or whatever, you can do that. Now it looks like someone who's casting something asked me if I have a peanut allergy, which I do not. I had a lot of things wrong with me, but that wasn't one of them. So anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'll show you the mountains. We got the mountains. The street that this is on is Buena Vista. Down a little further, it's called Mountain. You can see it's kind of pretty with the mountains. Perfectly blue skies right here. And I'm gonna go back onto the trail. As you can see, the wind is now kicking in pretty good. Nothing like in Florida, of course. Hopefully they're doing a lot better. I've heard from a few people. They've got their power back. So this is the trail, the trail coming back. So when I get back, when I finish this walk, I'll know how many steps I went. Hello. So I'm gonna get to the end, and I'll go ahead and when I get home, or when I get into the trail, I'll look at my phone. I don't have that much on the way of technical equipment. I'm using my camera from my phone, and I'm carrying it on a selfie stick. Here's a really big tree. See, these are called Royal Oaks. The street's called Royal Oaks, and where I live, they've chopped down all the oaks. They say there's some beetle or something. So hopefully that's true, and they didn't just cut them down because they're hard to maintain. Maybe we'll be called the used to have oaks condominiums. But I am now going to continue walking here. We got just about 25-minute video. So I think that's about it. So things I covered was hydrating, very important. Modifications, I had to go to the mall versus using my steps because they're not safe when it comes to that. I don't really have any problems with the wildlife out here, but I do change the times I come out. The homeless leave me alone. There used to be some gangsters here, I guess, that would rob people. Some gang members would rob people on the trail. I don't carry a gun and I don't carry a knife, and they've never really bothered me. I just say, hey guys, what's up? And I keep walking. So there have been some people that have been robbed down here. And I guess some houses have been broken into by the homeless or the unhoused individuals. So it's very, very safe out here, especially during the day. As you saw, I probably came across, that was a lady with a baby, so that's 2. I think about 4 or 5 people. No one comes out here during the day. When it was the heat of COVID and nobody could work out, people were lifting bags of flour for their weights and all that, and jugs of water, jugs of milk, whatever they could get, because everybody was hoarding bottled water for some strange reason. But this is really, really crowded. Now, not so much. There's the Mormon church. You call it a Mormon church? I guess a Mormon church is not a temple. I'm not a Mormon. I'm not Catholic either. But there's a Catholic hospital there, and there's the Mormon church. And we're back to the stop sign you see in front. That's going to be Bradbury. And that's basically just a little ways down on the trail. So anyway, thank you all for listening. I hydrate up. I wear my protective clothing. I put on a lot of sunscreen, and I just walk, and that's all I do. Walk at a brisk pace. As you can see, I'm still moving. I haven't stopped moving really, except for when I stopped to film the bridge. And I just walk. You know, half hour at a time, hour at a time. When I walk the full trail, I usually allow myself 2 hours. It never takes me that long. Sometimes I'll stop and talk to people if they want to say something or talk about something or whatever. If I bring the dogs, that slows me down. But anyway, I just got out there. This is what I do. Me, I'm pointing to myself. What you do, that's between you, your doctor, your physical trainer, your personal trainer, whatever they call them, pharmacists, all those people that help you with that. If you have diabetes, I think you know that walking is very good, but we have to hydrate. Oh, another problem with this place, this bridge, this trail, is when I got to that bridge, I think it's a third of the way. Now the next bathroom that's available is all the way at the end as a park. And I don't think it's open after like 10. I don't think you should be on this trail after 10. I'm not really sure. But with the wildlife right now, I don't go out here after 10 anyhow. But there's no bathroom. So being a diabetic who's been hydrating up for 3 times before I walk, and I hydrate all day. Every time I take my medicine, I get about 24 ounces of water because I have to fill the jug and take medicine. Someone asked me, can I not only I showed all the bottles I take, but lay out what it looks like with all my medicine and I want to show my pharmaceuticals, but all my supplements. So anyway, we're now back here to the stop sign, and this is Bradbury here. There's Santa Teresita. And you can see the Bradbury sign right there. The sign to get into Bradbury. I did go to the Civic Center. It's very, very small. I had to go there because I had to sign in to go to people's houses. There's the big palm trees. So anyway, everybody have a great day. If you have any questions on exercise, please let me know. I'll put this will be probably released tomorrow, and then I'll add it to the playlist. One big final tree. I don't know what kind of tree this is, but it's really pretty. So everyone have a great day. Good luck with your journeys. If you have any question about mine, what I exercise, how I exercise, what I do, how I get those 10,000 steps in, please in the comments down below, which I think it's on this side, you can write a comment. Please subscribe over here. If you go this way in the video, so this is back, you'll see that this is video number 6. Videos 1 through 5 covered everything from the motivation to get out there to do it, the diets that I do, the exercise was number 5. This could be number 6 as a companion to that one. With the supplements I take, there's a neuropathy treatment that I do that has basically, I have no more neuropathy pain, no symptoms at all. It's all natural and is approved by my doctor. Everything on here I talk about, I've had to talk to my doctor before I did it. Some of the things they want me to do, I all say no. They want me to have a handicap placard on my car. I said that doesn't make any sense. If a best exercise is to walk, why would I put a handicap placard on my car so I can walk less? 1 through 5 was the diet. I had a thing on there on how to work out in the heat. Was also on. I don't think that's one of the set ones, but this is number 6. Hope you enjoyed. Please ask questions and comments down below. Please share and please subscribe. Hopefully you're having a great day. Today is Wednesday. It's kind of warm out here, a little windy, and when I get to the end of the trail here, I'll check my steps. I can't see my Fitbit right now. I don't know why, but I know it's working, so I will check it at the end, and I'll put in the comments how many steps that this walk was. There was the stop at the bridge, so it wasn't constant. I did have a slight stop, but I would count all these steps because, I would say these steps are good steps. I did a little video on good steps versus not so good steps. Like I said, if I get up to go to use the bathroom or to feed my dog, those aren't really steps that I get my pace to where I like it. Here we're back to the drinking fountain, and it has a drinking fountain for the dogs. It's very weird. The dogs will be very, very thirsty, but for some reason when you push this button here, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's working now. It's kind of gross. And let's see if this one works. Usually the one for people, oh, it's working today. Sometimes the one for people does not work, but here's where we are, City of Doherty. Next half a block will be back to where we started. That's Monrovia. Thank you so much. Have a great day.